your sentence in your head. There ain't no finish line. Call no man happy till he's dead. There's a pressure behind my soul. I can feel it in my bones. There's a storm coming.
All right, and hello. Barring any problems, we are going ahead and started. My name is Michael, pronouns are he and him, and we are starting today with an Ars Magica saga, which is Reign of Spring. If we want to go around and introduce ourselves real quick, here in a moment, I will put what the order I have. I've got Sarah, Nessa, Steve, and Ibrahim.
Hi, I'm Sarah, Powerful Week 1 on TikTok, although I'm not posting as much as I used to. I'm playing Lear.
Hello, I am Nesta, she, her, and I mean, technically I play Pen, but today we are playing anybody, right?
Hi, I'm Steve. I'm the Dragon X on TikTok. I am playing the Magi Zaldan, the companion Thordak, and random no-name Grogs.
Oh, they'll have names.
Oh, okay.
They're currently no-named.
Hello, my name is Ibrahim. You can call me Ebe. I'm not using social media right now. We're on a break.
All right. Okay. Oh yeah, some of these are in the wrong place. Let me move you through the magic of this. So we have for everybody there's a series of characters we're going to start with. While they're kind of choosing those after a quick explanation, I'm going to explain what Ars Magica is because it does play quite a bit different from most other RPGs that you might be used to. As you'll notice, there's a thing called Story Grog, as you can see in Foundry.
Ooh.
See Story Grog, something called Prelude to Spring.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there are 4 characters. So we're going to start off because everyone here is learning the game. I've run it before. It has been a while. But I'll be teaching the game as we play. So we are going to start not with the mages or companions. We're going to start with regular, fairly everyday people who are in, kind of end up in over their head with one of the Magi showing up the next session. We have 4 youths who grew up in this small village that you're going to be encountering for the first time tonight. We have one that had sort of an athletic childhood, one with an exploring, one with a mischievous, and one with a more social childhood. On those ones, you'll be able to choose the ones you want there. You'll be able to name them. And if you look into the diary, there is a question, which I am going to end up asking you, because it is going to help us determine a few of the things going on with these characters. So does anybody have one that you would prefer to go with?
I choose the athletic.
Okay.
Exploring.
Mischievous.
I'll take the social.
All right. If you want to, when you grab those, feel free to change the names. Go ahead and put your name there just so it's also in parentheses so we know who it is. And then if you look at the diary, there'll be a little bit of information about them, like about one sentence thing and then a question. Go ahead and answer that question, and we'll be getting into it soon. So while you're doing that, I will explain Ars Magica. Ars Magica is unlike a lot of other role-playing games in that you are not playing a single character. Essentially, it's like someone looked at Lord of the Rings and said, hey, or just D&D in general said, hey, let's make wizards kind of as cool as they should be. And then someone else said, yeah, but that means that everyone else is going to be, less powerful. And they said, that's fine. Your mages in this are very powerful. They have a gift. Most of them are unable to actually deal particularly well with people because just the nature of the gift itself means a lot of people are going to mistrust them. And kind of treat them as if they are a problem. Now, a long time ago, this was a problem for mages as well. They would often end up essentially killing each other because they were too afraid the other person was going to go after them. Until there's a mage called Monosagus who essentially came up with a thing called Parma Magic, like a magic resistance. And what that did was meant that you were no longer affected by other people's gift, plus you had actual magic resistance that was like, pretty decent. Because of that, they could work together. So you have these Order of Hermes ended up starting with all these different houses, and the game itself says, hey, if each of you has a mage, so the mages should be kind of sticking around, working on spells, creating magical items, doing their research, doing the stuff that they want to do, which means it doesn't make sense for them to always be out and about. So you have a bunch of other characters that are being played. They have a covenant, which is a large group of people that help keep their lands and everything else going. And this one, we'll get into that later. It's a huge marble mine that they essentially own. And there's a lot of people involved. You've got companions who are the characters who have kind of more story importance. And these are ones each of them have created. If you think of Lord of the Rings, if Gandalf is your mage, I would say your companions are probably Aragorn, Frodo, and Samwise. Gimli, Legolas, Theoden, Faramir, Boromir, all of these would most likely just be considered grogs. These are the other characters that people will pick up in the various games. So we'll have like one game with one person's mage, another person's companion, and the other two will create grogs. And in the past, what I've discovered is that people really learn to love the grogs because you take big swings with them because you're only playing them necessarily for a session at a time. And these ones keep coming back and develop. Over the course of this, we'll be developing the entire covenant, not just 4 characters. So, currently...
we'll see if I can't manage to kill May.
So currently...
I believe in myself.
We have our characters. What I want to know is... let's start with who had the athletic childhood. That's Ibrahim?
That's me, yes.
All right, so you're going to be able to add other information from what we've got. Go ahead, tell me about your character a little bit, and then when you're finished with that, give me the answer to the question that you have.
Okay. So telling you about my character, do you want me to just read what I have on the thing?
Yeah, that, and if you've got some other ideas for them, let us know, and then let me
Okay.
know what your answer is.
So I named this guy Felix. Local hound master trains the hunting dogs. He's the athletic childhood. He's got archer, scout, woodsman, athlete, and animal trainer hounds.
That's essentially they have a little life path system for the grogs in one of the books.
Gotcha.
So the ability there is to go through and say, like, here's a real quick way to just plug in stuff for grogs. And those are the ones I chose for them.
Okay. And then I will read the question aloud. What did you see that spooked you enough that you started leaving offerings for the fair folk of the forest? Sorry, there are hounds barking. I hope that doesn't pick up.
We're not hearing it.
Cool. I heard a voice in the woods that sounded like my own and followed me through the forest. And after hearing that and realizing that I was not safe, I decided to start leaving offerings so that they would stop bothering me.
Okay. One thing I'll let you know, this small town, it is a place, so this takes place in 1220. This is a place where a lot of the older ways, especially those dealt with the fairies and such, had fallen into kind of disrepair is the wrong word, but essentially disuse. They were no longer being used quite as much, but everyone knew about them. Even though that really hadn't been used a lot in your lifetime, everyone knew what you were supposed to do. Those stories have come down, even though the church tends to frown upon, doing things for fairy or pagan deities. All right, who had the exploring childhood?
Me. My character is Felix. He is a cunning man. It says parent here is essentially a pagan wise person. So that means
Felix
he's
or Bastion?
Oh, sorry, Bastion. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'm making some notes, so I was just like,
Yeah. His parent is essentially a pagan wise person. So that means he's the son of a pagan wise person.
Yeah, essentially like the person who would know all of the folk cures and some of the medicine and such that wasn't supposed to be. It's kind of no longer supposed to be used because it's considered barbaric, but there's people that still trust it. Maybe a little bit more than this more modern medicine.
He is a minstrel. He is a trader, as in he trades goods, and he's a rider. So he must have a horse. And the question is, what do you know about why the local church father has fallen into disrepute? He has been skimming money from the tithing box, a noticeable amount that was supposed to go to a local orphanage.
Ooh.
And he got caught.
All right. The mischievous childhood.
That would be me. Very quick question. Where is everybody seeing their question?
Oh, if you go to the diary, if you open up the character over on the right, there'll be a thing that says diary.
Okay. So mine is May. My parents are farmers. Specifically, we do a lot with cows. I did not want that kind of life. Also, my dad was kind of being weird. So I became, what you do, thief. My question is, what did you see when you were young, either in the forest or the town, that is the reason you've fallen to where you are now? I specifically saw my father with another woman, a member of the Fae, who I believe to be his true love. And I was kind of like, well, I'm not going to be part of what's chaining you here.
And finally, the social.
Yeah, I am playing Trivium is his name, and he is a very social person. His family has some status in the town. One of my parents is a local leader. I'm going to say that's my mother, who is an apothecary who used their wealth to gain their status. He is very much a spoiled kid who rides his parents' coattails. The question was, why did you wish your baby brother away while in the clearing in the woods sacred to the old gods? Well, that's very simple. Jealousy. Having to split the family status between me and a child was not in the cards for me, so I wished my baby brother away so that I could go back to being the only child and have all of the power.
Okay. So, the year is 1200. We are in a small town in Greece, a small town that is unaware that for some of the mages at least, for one of the mages at least, they are on the way between where they are from and the place that the Covenant is going to be. It is the kind of place that people maybe stop through briefly. There's a small inn where people may stay the night on their way, but this is not a place where travelers tend to stay. It's kind of close enough to the river and such, to some of the trade routes, that you see people, but not far enough in that they have much of a reason to be there. This is the sort of place that is often overlooked. And you have been able to sort of live your lives for the last couple hundred years fairly unchanged, as far as what has been taken down from families to parents to children to children to children. And you have here as well, the church has made their way in and for a long time was fighting these older beliefs, and that in the last generation or two finally seemed to kind of catch. However, not too long ago, with the local priest having been kicked out, well, he's essentially still here. There has been messengers and stuff sent to possibly have him replaced, but kind of knows better than to go around to most people to talk to them, because no one has any respect for him anymore. So he mostly shuts himself in, and because of that, it's been much easier for some people to go back to the ways that, even though you were not supposed to follow, you were taught. The four of you all know each other. The four of you have grew up together. You're all kind of roughly at an age. Who's the person we think that might run into Felix while he's on the hunt in the woods?
I'm out thieving, so I feel like I'm probably not going to be in the woods as much unless I'm living out there nowadays.
Being an my parents are apothecaries. I'm getting into that. I could be out finding stuff to apothecatize.
While you were in the woods, we'll have you, Ibrahim, let me have you make a hunt roll. Now, for these, for your characters, Now, the basic thing for all of these is essentially you're rolling a d10 plus a stat plus your skill. That's going to be most of the rolls that you make. With mages, there's a couple other things that's added, but it's roughly the same thing. So in this case, if you go to, and this is me learning a little bit too, if you go to hunt,
Mm-hmm.
I pulled up the wrong character. But you should have hunt. If you go ahead
Yes.
and click on it,
Mm-hmm.
and for everyone else, if you just want to kind of follow along and maybe bring one of yours on up, so if you click on the skill itself, what'll pop up is a characteristic, and it'll be it'll usually have the one that is attached to it. Most of the time, most of the skills are attached to a specific one that will change on occasion, but will usually be correct. So for these, you're usually going to be good on there. This does have your specialty tracking, so if you want to click there, your specialty, every skill has a specialty. That's a +1 for those.
Okay.
There's going to be no modifier here, and everything here is essentially against what we call an ease factor, or if you want to think target number is kind of how it's used in more places. But for example, like an easy one is 6, average is 9, hard is 12. It usually goes up by about 3 per thing. So like an average is a 9 is what you're looking for.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to go ahead and make your roll,
Simple.
yeah, you're after yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there'll be this simple die. Oh, you rolled a 1. Okay, so
Yeah.
with a simple die, 1 counts as a 1. Let me just double check this real quick, just because it's been a little bit. I was looking through it, but I don't want to make sure I forget. You have 2 types of dice. A simple die is just a regular d10. 0 equals 10. Everything there's normal. Stress die. All magic uses it. There's times when you're under stress where it'll be a stress die. In that case, if you have a 0, that's a possible botch. Actually, you know what? We're going to... Well, no, that'll be fine. A 0 is a possible botch. A 1 means you re-roll and double what you roll. If you roll again, if you roll another 1, you'll re-roll, like you re-roll and then you'll quadruple, etc. Like it'll keep, like a quadruple, like it doubles there, like what, times 8, 16. Like essentially, like you will occasionally get a roll that ends up being in like the low hundreds. I've seen that happen in the old campaign that I used to run. So most of the time, if it's a simple die, if they're basically under not a huge amount of stress, just regular d10. Stress dice, 0 is a possible botch. Then you have to roll some botch dice to see if you get other zeros. Otherwise, a 1 explodes. All right, you got a 5. You are not having a good hunting day. And there is a point, like you fired a few arrows at some pheasants and such that were long gone by the time wherever you were aiming was not where they were at. It's just been a little bit off. Your hound is with. Do you have a name for you? Decide what you want to name your hound.
Fuck. I'm not a dog guy.
Okay.
Cerberus.
Cerberus?
Otis.
Seems a really audacious name for a dog.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with Cerberus. Yeah.
There is a hound. In case you need it,
We're in Greek.
there is a hound character that I'm throwing up into that thing. That will be your hound. You hear something that maybe needs to get flushed out of the bushes.
Right. All right, boy. Go get him. Go there. Go.
Hound takes
All right,
off.
go.
Steve, go ahead. Have Trivia make an awareness roll.
Awareness. Where is awareness? Where would I find awareness?
Okay. Should be on. What? I'm going to apologize. It may alertness. I think is what it is here.
Is it?
Oh, you actually okay? You do not have an alertness, so just go ahead. That means you just don't have the skill. You're fine on there. We just need you to make just a simple roll. In this case, let me just double check.
Okay.
Is there a thing on your character sheet that just let? If you want to click on perception,
Okay.
there's no ability there, so it just means you get a +0 there.
Boom. 4.
4. Okay, this is a fairly trivial one because it's a dog's not trying to sneak up on you. You hear a coming through the brush at you with a little bit of a low growl.
I'm gonna pull out my axe and be like, and make like that loud, like, get away.
Cerberus, come back here.
And he sort of kind of like stops and just kind of looks up, and there's just this moment where it like looks back at you, Felix, and then kind of comes back because most people in town know Cerberus. Like, it's your hunting
well, I
dog.
didn't know that
Well,
Cerberus was
you didn't know that's what it was. You turn around when you stand up because you're behind some of the bushes and such. You see Cerberus, who again kind of pulls up when it sees it's not something it would be hunting.
I put the axe away.
Christ's blood.
Felix, buddy, how's it going?
You can't be skulking around in these woods like that. Make yourself known.
I'm picking berries, man. I'm an apothecary.
Then make
It's
it
a
known
berry
you're picking
bush.
berries. I was liable to shoot you.
Well, be thankful we didn't.
What
The hell was that? Is that the dog?
You look around and like it kind of seems to come from deeper in the forest. At this point, just the sound of a baby.
Oh no, there's a baby.
No, that's no babe. Not in these woods.
Lead the way.
All right, and then I turn around and go back home.
I follow you back home.
No, I think that realistically, I don't think I'd go to a baby in the. I don't know much about fairies, but I do know that when you hear a voice in the woods, you don't go to that.
There are a lot of tales about the things that used to be in this woods. Like this is a place of heavy respect. There were, like I said, you learned to leave offerings because of what it was you saw with the voice that you heard. So yeah, I would say you turn around and head back to town.
Yeah, just away from the baby sound.
Yeah, Trivium.
Wherever that is.
What's in your?
Don't look back. Keep your head, keep your eyes straight. Follow the path. Away from that.
Yeah, all right, I got you. We're good, man. We're good. Let's get going.
Cerberus, boy, come here.
Felix, make an awareness roll. This will be when you're out of the things. I'm sure your kind of hackles at the back of your neck. You're checking back behind you.
All right. Do I just always get to use my specialty, or just?
Because this one you won't. Because no, your awareness is alertness. So as long as your specialty goes along with it, just go ahead and click it.
Okay.
So this is alertness. So I would say yes.
Ooh, 13.
Ooh.
David, you're saying that's the way it is in Appalachia. Do not go towards the sound of a baby crying. But come on, that's how they get you. I mean, no, it'd be great. You turn and look back at one point, and there is someone standing in there. Like you can see them kind of back through some of the trees, a little bit of motion before it moves, but there was something in there watching you.
You're muted.
Oh, am I?
Oh,
You're
nope.
good now.
Am I muted or am I quiet?
Nope, you're good.
You're
We
good
got
now.
you now.
You work.
Okay. Horse son, we need to move.
Okay. All right, we're moving. What's back there?
Bad news.
All right. Chugging along behind my hunter friend.
Bastion and May.
Yeah.
Both of you have been kind of, Bastion's been kind of out and about in the world, was dealing with things that, maybe were not as above board, considering it had to be kept somewhat secret with the church here. And, of course, May's turned into a thief. And a lot of people know you for that. How do the two of you get along?
No. I mean, we both like carousing, so I don't know. We
Yeah.
could be good drinking buddies, but also.
So how old are you when you left home?
I mean, I'm 17 right now, so I feel like I probably left like 20 minutes ago.
I think. Oh, you left like 20 minutes ago. I think.
I mean, like 2 weeks.
I think you've been sleeping at the floor of my father's house.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think we get on pretty well,
Yeah.
despite the, recent change in career. Well, I think I've probably been, a real piece of shit for a long time, but
Okay.
You're used to it.
Yeah,
Want to catch the two of you at the bar,
sure.
at the tavern, having a drink? Getting towards the night. The work is done for the day for those who have to do it. And a lot of people have made their way to have some drinks, to socialize, go around the fire with some food that's being cooked there.
I'm just saying, we could go to his house and nobody, like, who would care?
The father. We're not killing the father.
I'm not saying we kill him. He's gotta have, he was embezzling. There's gotta be something in that fucking house.
You don't kill someone for stealing money. He's going through enough as it is.
I'm just saying we take some of the money if he has anything.
You can take some of the money. I ain't bringing that on myself.
I already asked enough from you, so I won't ask for anything more.
Ugh. Went around. First one's on me.
Thanks, Bastion.
All right, I go to the bar, get us a couple drinks.
All right. So you grab a few drinks. You just drink for a little while.
Yeah.
So May, is there a point where you decide, fuck it, I'm gonna go to his house. I'm gonna go to the house next to the church.
I'd say it's about after 3 more drinks. And also, I don't understand why Bastion, a man of God, man of the woods.
I'm not a man of God, but I'm a man of respect.
I'm not doing anything disrespectful. I'm just taking a look. Nothing's happening. I'm just taking a look.
If you go alone, you're going to get yourself killed. Come on.
Well, maybe that's a good thing.
I'm not going inside. I'll keep lookout.
We head off, Michael.
All right. So in this case, as you're making your way there, go ahead. Let's have you both make a stealth roll, which I do not. But you may both have it. It's in an urban area, so if you have, if that is your specialty or something along those lines, you can go ahead and hit that you're using your specialty.
My specialty is just sneaking.
That works.
I have specialty urban areas.
Yep.
I no modifier or nothing like that.
Yep. No other modifiers.
Nice.
Oh.
12 and an 8. Now, for our purposes, because it's not that hard. You're just walking through the city. No one's necessarily paying that much attention. So this one is not all that difficult. So as you're making your way through, the house itself is dark. There's the windows. It's like a 2-story that's next to the church. In my head, I was trying to find pictures of what Greek homes look like in 1200, and I could find stuff in 1200 BC, but trying to find stuff for 80 was hard. So I'm not entirely sure, but I saw a lot of I don't know if it's the clay slash that sort of solid building. As you're on your way there, you got the windows and such. There is no light kind of coming from there. The church itself is also dark, and it has been not shuttered for the last couple weeks, but maybe as good as. No one has really kind of gone in.
Well, find anything?
You end up at this relatively dark house. You're outside of it.
I don't even think he's here.
Okay, let's go in.
All right. Do I know how to? I know how to pick pockets. Do I know how to? Well, granted, I'm sure there's not
Tremaine can pick
hella good locks.
Yeah, here, I don't necessarily know a lot as far as locks, but windows here are mostly just going to be a thing that opens to let air in because you don't have screens and such. So the windows are probably the easiest way to get your way in through here.
All right. I boost myself in there.
Yeah, so what I would, you boost yourself in. Make another stealth roll. Sarah? Are you just outside of the window?
Yeah, I'm just keeping eyes on everything.
7.
All right, you kind of hit the ground. There's a little bit of noise, not a lot, but as you sort of hit, you wait for a moment. You just sort of listen at the whole thing, and you're not hearing anything right now. You're in sort of the main room downstairs. There's a cold fire pit that's there for cooking and such. You have, some furniture around that used to have people, hanging out and talking, sometimes late into the night, which has not for a while now. It is dark and there's the steps leading upstairs. You can see most of the first floor from where you're at.
Okay. Doesn't look like there's anything of value here on the first floor.
Nothing huge. I mean, if he's still got some money kept somewhere that he hid, it probably wouldn't be down here.
Okay. I don't. Bastion's already too far into this, so I'm gonna start sneaking upstairs without him.
Okay.
Plus, he only said he was gonna watch anyway.
All right. So as you start making your way up, and again, Bastion, you're just kind of like making an awareness roll or alertness awareness?
Alertness. Hack that.
If you do not have a skill, just go ahead and roll
I
perception.
have awareness searching. Does that count?
Searching won't count for this.
Okay. Then just do perception.
No, it'll just be awareness. The searching just means that's your specialty. If you're doing your specialty, you get an extra +1.
All right, 8.
All right, yeah. As you're kind of like keeping an ear out, and you hear like as you see May go up the steps, you hear like it sounds like the creak of a window upstairs.
Do I think is it coming from the same side as what she was on, or is this?
You've been in the place. You kind of have an idea of how it's generally laid out. Like you've been on the first floor. You haven't been upstairs, but it feels like if May's going up here, it's like you have to probably go down here and around the corner to get to those rooms. I mean,
shit. Woohoo! Woohoo! Woohoo!
Do I hear that?
Yeah.
Hmm. And do I think is that spot on bird impression so good that I'm like, ah, yes, the birds.
I think with that one, I'm gonna see. I don't know if there's ability will be good for that one. Unless you have like a performance, which
I don't have. I have sing.
Yeah,
but
go ahead and make a communication roll.
Okay. Oh no.
It's okay. It's a little louder than probably. Bastion wanted it
if
to be.
Anything that's better because I know it's a signal. Then,
oh yeah.
I guess I like get one last look and head back downstairs if I hear something.
Okay.
Like,
you hear like what sounds like a footstep up there.
Oh. Yeah, all right, then I will like a child sneaking downstairs in the middle of the night to watch TV, start like just going back down the stairs.
And the moment you start like heading down the stairs, you're like first you heard like like someone's coming towards the stairs on the upper floor as you are like making your way out. Do you just do you like vault?
Then I'll start
out the
hustling. I'll start booking it. I don't care if they hear me. It's dark.
Yeah, I
what
would
are
say,
they gonna do?
I would say go ahead and make like an athletics check because you're probably just trying to huff it out the window. I'm assuming Bastion, are you looking in like seeing May come down those steps?
Yeah.
All right.
Get out of here! Come on.
Sorry, athletics is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now would this count as running?
Yes.
All right, my specialty.
You are good at like having to like get the hell out of places pretty quickly. Yeah, you go flying out the window, but I'll say as this happens, Sarah, as you look up, you see the father at the top of the steps, except he has no face. It is completely smooth. There is not a blemish on it. And you see him like in the moonlight for just a second before you are forced to flee.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the minute I'm at the window, I'm just like grabbing Bastion and just booking it.
Run, run.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here is you're going to get a fatigue level.
Me as well.
No,
How do we track that?
this will just be so. If you go under descriptions, vitals, and combat. So for everyone else, you have fatigue levels and you also have wounds. Now, when you take wounds in this game, wounds give you negatives to do things, which means it's like you can kind of enter a death spiral if you're in actual like physical combat. It can get dangerous. But if you go to your wounds and you just click on winded, this one will take a little bit longer to it'll stay there for rather. I'm sorry, with fatigue level, just go ahead and hit a +1. Hit the plus on there. it'll give you it'll give you that another bit of fatigue. It'll be like this one will not go as away as quickly as just sort of getting winded. This is something else. And as the two of you are like running away, Nessa, do you like? I would say Bastion. What is it like for you? Like, what do you look like when Bastion like vaults out the window?
I am like white as a sheet, and I'm just like. First, I don't actually move for a second until May grabs my arm and like pulls me.
If it was anyone else, I'd say I just thought you were being a goody-goody, but I think I do know you well enough that I'm like, what happened? You saw something out in the woods?
Father has no face.
What?
Father had no face. He had no face. He had nothing.
You sure it wasn't like a mask? Trick of the moonlight?
No face. He had no face.
Maybe it wasn't even the father. Maybe that's why he stole.
It was the
money.
father. It was the father.
Nessa, make an alertness to or awareness rather, whichever one it is, to see if you sense the ambush.
Ooh, hey,
This will
well,
just be Nessa.
just the nothing, just a raw roll. Yay, 7.
You hear it and are able to turn and sort of half catch Cerebus. Why did I just said that wrong? I just said that like the aardvark.
Cerebus.
I think
Cerebus.
Cerebus has a certain ring to it.
Well, Cerebus is the name of a comic book aardvark who was really good until the author lost his mind.
Oh no!
Yeah, so Cerebus kind of half tackles you and like licking at you as you see Felix and Trivium kind of coming relatively quickly from the direction of the woods.
Felix, Trivium, Jesus Christ!
Fae in the woods.
There's always Fae in the woods.
They're out and about.
Always out and about.
Father has
We
no
saw
face.
something. What Bastion said.
The father has no face.
Is that supposed to mean something?
He has no face.
He had a face this morning. What do you mean he has no face?
Face?
You hear a door.
No face.
You hear the door open by the church.
Run. Run, run, run.
We hear a door open. Do we have an opportunity to do a thing?
No, I was gonna say it's a little bit down the street, but do you all? How many of you turn to look?
I turned to look.
I'm gonna look at the thing with no face.
Yeah, I think Sarah probably will definitely. I think
Can I just
Bastion,
start booking it?
Yes, Bastion starts to book it. When you look, you see the father back there, looking like pissed.
Oh, but he's looking.
Yeah, he looks fine. He goes, May, I know it was you.
I start booking it.
It's not a crime to run away from a priest. I don't think. I'm
feel
gonna
like-
just
It's
follow.
actually a good thing to run away from priests.
All right, we're
hey-o.
running again. Well, here we go.
We're running again.
And there's just a moment he sort of sits on the porch of his home, just sort of in impotent anger because no one's really going to help him because of the shit he's done. So as he sits there and sort of like curses out, sounds a little drunk.
All right. That one had a face.
Where is the
that
place?
the one you?
What's it? Where's the place you think? Is it one of your houses? Is it somewhere else where you all end up after running from the priest?
Back at the bar?
I feel like maybe we would go to Trivium's house though as well.
Wait.
I don't
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All
I feel
right.
like your parents are not are open to having more children in the house since they lost their other son.
Nope.
Oh,
their other son
damn.
has not been lost. Your baby,
Oh,
your
he just
ba-
never existed.
Your baby brother's fine.
Oh.
No,
Oh.
I wished him
I'm
away.
just saying he wished him away. That'll have nothing to do with anything happening tonight.
All right, never mind. Bar then. We don't need to be surrounded by someone's annoying younger brother.
You go to my house because that's obviously where I'm running.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I was just following you.
Yep.
All right.
Stupid field
So you
wishes never working.
You end up at Bastion's home. Currently, parents are probably out at the bar along with a lot of other people having a drink, talking, seeing each other.
Bastion, what the hell was that? I turned. He very much had a face.
I promise you, he didn't have a face. Wait, when he was coming down the stairs after you, I saw him. No face.
Are
I'm
you
just
sure
saying-
you weren't just panicking?
Has Bastion been drinking?
No, Bastion hasn't been drinking.
We've
I believe
had-
Bastion. I'm just saying maybe it was something else in the house with the father that looked like him,
You
that
think
had
it
no
was
face.
You think it was the Fae folk?
Oh yeah, probably.
So the Fae folk are not only in the woods; they're in the priest's house.
I mean, they've been at the farm before.
What?
Well, the edge of the farm, but still, that counts, right?
But don't they? They don't usually come into the village.
They do if they want something.
What do they want?
I can't tell you what they want from my family, but
What would they want from the father?
money?
This is all.
Well,
He doesn't
This
seem
is
like he
all my
has
fault.
much. Did he have any money? Did you see anything in there that would indicate he had money?
no. Barely had 2 loaves of bread to rub together.
Sarah, I sent you something via Discord. Yeah, I forgot. You don't have an easy way to check it.
I'm just grabbing Cerberus and just
Possibility.
going like,
Yeah.
It's a hunting dog. Don't spoil him.
Look at you, look at you. You're such a good boy.
This is why we couldn't catch anything.
You're a good boy. You know that, right?
Can you also?
You having a bad day out there today, Felix?
I'm starved. I couldn't hit the broadside of a barn tonight,
Bastion,
and
come,
this mutt was no help.
I might have.
Bastion, come pet Cerberus.
Okay.
Nothing helps more like the animals.
See,
And it
Are
is
we-
the Cerberus is staying fairly close to you, Bastion. Like, I mean, you're clearly the one freaking out. And like, Cerberus is a good dog for someone's freaking out.
What kind of dog is Cerberus?
A good hunting dog.
Basset Hound?
Well, I mean, this is kind of before dog breeding. I feel like they kind of look like.
Is it?
Oh, I mean,
Probably
yeah,
not.
but like I'm sure it's not super before, but I can't imagine we had the specific kinds of
I
breeds.
think they did. Like they had specific breeds. I think. I don't know.
So do I live on the edge of the forest, Michael? You think that's where my house is?
It's within sight of it, but it is not like right there. Basset Hound breed has been around since 1000 AD.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, technically, it's only been around for 200 years.
He's a good.
That's
he's a
longer
good
than
dog.
I've been around.
That's longer than a doodle. So
That's long. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of things that are older than a doodle, probably. I don't know. I don't know. Probably looks like a basset or like a mastiff. Those are the only 2 dog
Ooh, a
breeds I can think
mastiff.
of right now.
pretty cool.
I'm a cat guy.
Mastiff
Me
probably would not
too.
be a hunting dog. They're usually like
We'll say like
Protection.
a beagle or something.
you need
Basset
something
Hound,
small.
or something along those lines. It is a good old hunting dog.
They're
Aren't
floppy
mastiffs
eared.
Aren't mastiffs related to the whatchamacallums? The bear,
bear
dogs?
dogs. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're not for. You can't catch like a pheasant with them.
You need a hunting dog. You need a hunting dog of some sort. Yeah. So a
Yeah.
basset hound works, or like just like a pointer or something like that.
According to Wikipedia, they are also hunting dogs.
I can't imagine they're
okay.
catching birds.
Basset.
So
No, probably not. Well, I mean, this
Well, they
one
don't
sucks
catch them
anyway.
so much as they go
can
and
catch
grab the
anything.
bodies and bring it back to you after you get it
Yeah.
with an arrow.
Yeah, well, he's a basset hound. He's a floppy, slobbery
I'm
basset
just,
hound.
I'm just stroking the dog. Get your head out of the gutter.
Yeah, no, I mean that common phrase, that common parlance, stroking the dog.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who laughed.
I didn't get it till
Very-
someone said it.
All right. What are y'all doing?
I swear.
No,
Why would the Fae take someone's face or take
Why'd they
over
give it
someone?
back?
punishment?
What do
Well,
they
just
care
co-
about the father?
Just cause they're always taking babies.
What?
But
Why
babies
did,
are
why
one
Did,
thing. Babies they use.
why are we running from him? Like he's an old man.
The man had no face, and now he has a face.
Well-
That's concerning.
I was running from the person without the face, not the father.
Well, why don't we just go ask him what happened to his face?
Well, other question, what were you two doing out in the woods?
I am an
Poorly.
apothecary.
Yeah,
I
but usually
collect
not in that
herbs
area.
and roses and stuff.
I've had to go further into the woods because I haven't been able to catch anything.
So there's nothing to catch in the woods?
There's plenty to catch, I just can't seem to catch it. Everything seems flighty.
Birds will do that.
He's saying he's
Shut
in a
up.
rut.
It's
He
just
can't
been a little
hit.
rough.
Didn't catch anything though.
Apparently not.
Uh,
Do you
so,
break out a bottle of wine
Trivium.
or something?
Yeah, I think I go fine. I go fetch a bottle of wine.
Mhm.
I have some food, I think.
hey, the dog will take whatever you got. Scraps. If you got some milk, just soak some hard bread in that, feed it to them.
Well,
We
I mean, what
probably-
are we gonna do? Get out of church on Sunday? I
We
mean, I
probably-
can, but
we
the
probably
rest of you.
cut at this point till a little bit
Mhm.
later in the evening when everyone's had a couple drinks. You just all hanging out there and having some drinks and kind of trying to get the heebie-jeebies out.
Yeah.
Okay. The moon is currently like it kind of dipped below the horizon relatively early. It is pitch black outside. It seems strangely quiet.
So you thought you heard a baby?
Didn't
Well,
think
It
there
sounded
was a baby.
like a baby. Yeah, no, it wasn't a baby. How would a baby get in the woods?
I don't know.
Maybe someone was walking their kid.
A baby doesn't walk.
Someone went to the woods, gave birth, died, and then the baby was there.
No, it was Faye. It's always Faye. I don't.
Yeah, well, he said he saw something. What'd you see, Felix?
A strange figure standing alone in the woods.
Did it
staring
have a
at us.
face?
It was hard to tell.
far.
Like it was. You weren't really looking that closely, but like you just saw someone there, but it was for a moment.
Yeah. When I see something strange in the woods, I run away. I don't ask questions.
Either it had a face or it didn't. That's not really a gray area.
I couldn't
Me-
tell.
It can be hard to tell from a distance. Well, why
I
don't
was
we go
just
back
trying
to
to
the
connect the
woods?
dots. It's nighttime.
There's
And
no
it is-
moon.
It is getting fairly late.
Can we just go to bed for the night? And can you please all stay here tonight, please?
Okay.
I wasn't leaving.
I mean, I'm here.
All right.
Why not?
You all kind of grab. This is one of those nights where like people are out drinking, sometimes fairly late, and your parents and such are out and maybe out with some friends. You end up kind of asleep relatively early. I mean, it's weird to think of early now. They don't have lights back then. And kind of in the middle of the night, Trivium, you got to use the outhouse. You feel a powerful urge. However, it's dark and you don't really know the area that well. You were shown where some candles were just in case.
All right. I'm going to light a candle and out the door I go.
All right. It's still a little cold as you head out there and you're using it. And kind of on your way back, make an awareness roll for me.
Perception. Because I don't got no awareness. 4 again.
Okay.
Jeez,
I'm going to tell you what you don't notice.
Okay.
You don't notice that the flame on your candle isn't flickering. It's still heat coming off of it, but still as if it's frozen. You don't notice the wind moving the curtain on the way in, and you certainly don't notice that they didn't have a curtain previously.
Oh,
As
boy.
you go to way in, when you turn around to shut the door, you've got the candle there, standing probably a good 1.5 feet taller than you. A very thin, very cold-looking woman, fingers almost unnaturally long, holding a small baby in her arms. And she just smiles at you. Says, "Your gift has been accepted." And then as she opens up the door, has to duck down to like step out of it, and you hear something low. It sounds almost something low to the ground out there, like some laughter coming from the darkness. And then all of you are awoken by the sound of a baby crying outside, and you see Trivium standing at the door with a candle in his hand.
What's that baby?
He's frozen
Yep.
in fear.
And you're,
What the hell is that?
I go out and I start looking for the baby.
as you kind of like, Trivium, are you just sort of standing in the doorway while this is happening?
I'm in the doorway.
Yep.
I'm frozen.
And as May, as you kind of like get your way around Trivium, you step outside, like the sound of the baby is fading, but you can't see anything around you. Like there's nobody you can see. You can like the sound of the baby is going towards the direction of the woods.
Well, that's a lost cause.
The Fae take a baby.
Bastion, where'd you? Because we didn't see the tall woman, right? Just
Nope. Nope, you
just
just
Trivium did.
because like the tall woman was outside and then had disappeared. You heard the baby, but didn't see the woman.
Is everyone out of the house now? All y'all are standing in the doorway or out?
Bastion, were you outside? Or are you staying?
No, Bastion was inside.
I know May said
Okay.
May said she'd gone out. I don't know what the rest of you.
So it's just me and Trivium outside. You two should still be inside.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm still
If
inside.
I assume I know if Trivium's got a baby sibling, so I'm just gonna like
Oh yeah,
take
you're
a
all
peek
aware.
in.
It's a like Trivium's mom gave birth probably 8 months ago.
I'm just gonna like go peek into where the baby's crib, I guess, would be.
This is my house.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not
right,
my
sorry.
house.
Yeah. It's not your house.
I'll come back inside, obviously. Yeah. Right up.
What was that?
Trivium, was your mom here?
Nope.
What happened?
There was a tall woman. Tall woman. With really long fingers. And she had a baby. And she just looked at me and turned and walked into the mist.
Michael, what does my dad's lover look like? I'm assuming I saw her once.
Tall, unnaturally tall, beautiful,
Oh,
very cold seeming. And you ever
Long-
confronted him about what you saw?
do we think my mother is alive?
Tell
I feel
me.
like she's
Oh.
not.
Tell me.
I feel like she's not alive.
And the thing is, your mother disappeared. Remind me, your farmers.
17.
Your family were farmers. She took some stuff to market one time and just never returned. Your stuff was found coming into town, into the other town where you usually go and sell stuff. But she herself was gone. There was no like blood or anything on the wagon. She was just missing.
I think we had one of those like father-daughter fights where like I was implying a bunch of stuff and he just probably didn't pick up that I was like saying some shit. But we never had like the full-on like conversation about it.
Yeah, you've seen something, but you don't know necessarily what it is. Like that description seems to fit who you saw.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go like pallid immediately. Just like what you said tall, long hands,
Yeah, long fingers. Her
Beautiful
hands
face.
were normal. But
beautiful
her
face.
Was her face beautiful?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was cold and terrifying, but there you could see a certain beauty there. If it wasn't, maybe it was in different circumstances.
If by chance I wasn't scared and about to piss myself, she would probably have been beautiful.
But you had to go and piss yourself.
I didn't, but I'm about
Happens to
to.
the best of us.
Good thing I went before I saw her.
Do you guys? If I tell you guys something, you promise not to tell your parents?
Sure.
No.
I mean, you don't have parents, right?
Everyone has. They
Well,
might
I mean,
be
your
different.
parents don't live nearby.
No, I don't think so.
They don't care
Okay.
about you. Is what we mean.
Bastion, what about you? Do you promise? You're muted.
He doesn't listen to me anyway.
Dream, you know how you were recently blessed with a baby brother?
Uh-huh.
I think I recently have been gifted a sibling, and I think that was it.
You think that was your sibling?
My father goes to the woods to visit a very tall woman a lot at night.
Interesting.
She helps with the crops.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just know.
So your dad goes to the woods to meet a tall woman who helps with the crops?
I mean, I don't think that's what they do at night.
Well, I mean, obviously that's not what they do at night.
The crops have been
Obviously,
quite
they
good
make
recently.
they make half siblings during the night.
Well, obviously, but why is she bugging me?
Oh no! Why has she never come to visit me?
Because you're not her kid.
Well, you're not her kid either.
No.
I've lost the plot. What's
Yeah.
happening?
You hear you hear a scream in the direction of, remember the name is Bastion, or I'm sorry, Trivium's
Trivium?
house.
Oh well, I'm just gonna start booking it.
Oh God.
Fuck.
All right. So May books it.
Towards your house, not away, obviously.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing?
Probably May.
Trivium is slowly heading towards his house.
Okay. It's a small
I'm
enough.
I'm not letting my stepmom murder your baby brother.
It's a very small town, and like those who are in town are all relatively close to each other, just because I mean physically. So like you've got some people that are running in, like kind of running from the bar. We'll probably say I don't know. I don't know if Felix is trying to get ahead, but you're probably the fastest runner of the group.
Okay.
Who do you think we get there first?
Why would
Just because I'm faster?
He's the athletic child.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, okay, you are a little bit faster. You're only one faster than me,
used to,
though.
like,
I'm only one faster.
You're used to like running through like the woods and such more,
Yeah.
like, chasing after stuff.
Why not?
Um.
I'll try to get there.
Okay. Well, we'll say you get there just a touch before everybody else. As you reach the door, there is it opens. It's not been locked. You hear a woman, sounds like Trivium's mother, screaming upstairs. There's some people like from the bar that are making their way there. As the rest of you are kind of hot on Felix's heels. You go up. She's standing near a crib where there is no child.
Oh, there's no child? Not even a replacement child?
Nope. She's screaming, my baby, just like screaming.
Calm down, woman. Which way did she go?
She's gonna throw. What?
Did you see a tall woman?
No, wait. Is there a tall woman with my? What happened to my baby? What tall woman? What are you talking? What are you? Who did this? Where's my Trivium?
Yeah, yes, mother.
Your brother,
Yes, mother.
Brother, he's just gone. He's gone. It's a tall woman. What is it? What is the tall woman? And they're like looking at all four of you.
Well, I went to the bathroom at Bastion's. And when I came back, there was this tall woman staring at me, and she was holding a baby, and she disappeared into the mist. I didn't recognize the baby as of Timothy, but she had a baby.
Which of you has fairy lore?
I do.
Yeah, Sarah does.
Sarah, make a roll.
Alrighty. Doot. Doot. Ugh.
6.
6 is fine for this, because the old stories have still been passed around. There's still many things people believe, and there's places in the forest a lot of people don't go. As a matter of fact, Ibrahim, Felix, you've probably gone further into the forest than just about anybody, and there's places even there you don't like to go, especially recently. There have been tales in the past of children being taken by the Fae, often because the old ways weren't being followed, because the offerings weren't being left. Those children were sometimes returned. Sometimes. And Trivium's mother starts to wail as there's just like the shock of the moment, and she just, we have the offering, we haven't, she came in, she came to the city, she came to the city.
We can get her back. There's ways to get him back. We can. We just have to make an offering and express regret for not offering the sacrifices that they want.
But why now?
I don't know. Seems like a lot of things are happening now.
Okay. Well, I mean, it feels weird to have this conversation in front of Trivium's mom, but I'm gonna be like, well, what do we need?
We need
So here's a couple things you know. A lot of the things that the Fae take as offerings: bread, beer, milk,
Cakes.
like things that are made, things that sustain life, are a lot of the types of offerings that are often given. Like I would say, Ibrahim, do you have an idea of what you want the offerings you've been leaving recently are?
I think I've probably been leaving like cakes and wine and bread and stuff.
These kind of things are very, very common for the Fae. These are your mage character will know why they like those things. Because your mage character, having lived around them, this character will not. So yeah, like these are the things that were often given to the Fae. You've heard about the old offerings, but those offerings, since the church came in, and the church kind of seemed to have taken over quite a while ago. Like your great grandparents and such, those who are still around, would talk a little bit more about the old days when they would still kind of do more than just pay lip service to the fair folk of the forest.
Right.
Cakes, honey, exotic flowers, no clothes, no steel.
Salt.
I don't think they like salt.
All right. Well, let's get the stuff then.
All right. So you go gather some cakes, foods, breads.
Yeah, how many cakes can we steal?
And
40 cakes.
Yeah. So
Lex Luthor stole.
We'll say as you
and it's terrible.
Other people have shown up, and do you tell the other villagers and such this is what's happened, and this is what you're gonna do?
Oh yeah, definitely. I will make an impassioned plea. Give us your honey, your cakes, your wine.
People run to their homes to grab foods and such that they had made to bring in, like breads and cakes. They bring offerings for the four of you to take, and when they come back with the offerings, most of them appear fairly pale-faced, ashen.
I have a question. Is Trivium having any reaction to this whatsoever?
Trivium is blank-faced and just not
Everyone
saying
lose fatigue.
Really anything.
No, blank face, not smooth face. Never mind.
He's not reacting. He's just kind of like, normally Trivium is very vocal and talkative, and this whole time he's not saying anything. He's silent, which is odd for him.
All right, so do you gather up your stuff and then head towards the woods?
Yeah.
All right.
Should we angle to like try to get like 8 of each thing or something? 1 for each month he's been alive.
Oh, I kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Got some
1 for each moon.
One for each moon. Then it's not bankrupting the village. No one has to give up all their cakes. Just 8
We
solid
take a
good
little. We
cakes.
take a little extra for snacks for the way. No.
Oh yeah, obviously.
All right, do we want to take a bio break now? About what, 5-10 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah, we can bio
All right, about 5 minutes
as we go into the woods.
Yep,
Yeah, that
sounds
works.
good.
Yeah, we'll be back at 8:20 Central Time.
Thank you.
All right, and we are back. So, the woods. All of you, of course, are familiar with the woods. I mean, granted, Felix more than most, because you the one who's easily spent the most time there. The only thing is this time, things look a little bit different when you're on your way in. The woods itself is a little more foreboding currently. Feels a little bit darker and a whole lot quieter than it normally is.
Ooh.
The
Scary.
woods are strange tonight.
Yeah, I managed to find a cool thing on the. We can't show it on here, but yeah, just found a kind of a little cool scene like there's not many of them. I was looking for more stuff like this because this is the kind of stuff I would use. For
the listeners at home, it's just kind of a woods, a dark and scary woods with some rustling, and it's very misty.
It looks like it reminds me of Mist.
Yeah, and some animation stuff for it. It happened to be in the Molinet suite, the stuff that I'm on the Patreon for like the music and other stuff. But yeah, they got a lot of little cool things. I don't think I'll use much of them, but all right. So the woods itself feels a little bit darker, a little bit quieter. Usually at night, there's all sorts of noises in here. Ibrahim, like Felix, you've been out there before. You know what it normally sounds like, but currently, like there's enough there to kind of raise the hackles on the back of your neck.
It's far too quiet.
If you want to go ahead and make area lore, since you know the place better, your area lore roll will be because you know to probably head in towards some of the places that you have been learning to avoid. Everything looks a little bit off, but not too different.
Okay, so just do the opposite of what I feel.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I don't want to be going in.
Area lore.
You should have one
by
for the forest.
And then normal.
Ooh.
Oof.
That's good, right? No, that's very bad.
Did that include? Did that
Wait,
include?
so
your,
I don't
that include
I
your
don't get to
specialty?
explode? I don't have a special I do have a specialty.
Oh, see, a specialty. Yeah, specialty would be the nearby forests. Sorry.
Okay.
And that's one of the things for your characters. You'll also be able to go through and give yourselves specialties on your skills, though you can do those as needed and as makes sense. So 3, you're finding yourself a little bit sort of lost as you're going through, and again, it's you know this forest well. You've been in it at night. Things just feel a little bit different. Everyone else make an awareness roll. Whoever gets highest.
Trivium following in my
Okay.
footsteps.
Oh, I should have made
Trivium
that.
is distraught.
6.
I should have made that a stress die. It probably would have made sense as a stress die. We'd have had two possible botches and an explosion, but we're good. Bastion.
Yeah.
It's distant. It's hard to hear, but you can kind of hear it coming on the wind. Just this very distant. At this point,
I can hear
you've
the
been
baby.
traveling a little bit.
I can hear the baby.
Lead the way then.
I move in the direction of the sound.
All right, as you make your way through, like the woods itself seems to fight you a little bit, just in the nature of things. Trees just seem a little closer. The thickets there a little bit worse than normal. As you make your way, you find yourself at one point in a clearing. In this clearing, like the sky is above. When you look up, you all know the stars very well. You can sit, unlike today, there's no light pollution, so you'll be able to see them incredibly powerfully your entire life. You've known probably a few of the basic things of what direction to go at night by them. The stars as you look up are not the right stars, and there is a large hulking kind of figure in the shadows on the other side of it. Seems to have been turned away from you and just kind of like something's rustling with something like towards the ground.
Hello?
As it turns, you've seen a lot of. It doesn't move the way people do. It's very large, and it sort of turns much more limited kind of range of motion as this very large turtle standing on its two legs just sort of turns, and it's like kind of bringing up some food. You see it sort of just chomping like little bits of grass and leaves. Oh, you shouldn't have come. Oh, you shouldn't be here.
We know, but we have a trade to make.
She passed this way not long ago.
Can you tell us which way to go?
I know where you should go. He goes, kind of like turns on like the path that leads on, and he goes, if you go down this path, you'll eventually find the glade. The glade where all the wicked ones and the fair ones are.
Is that where the Wayne is? Is that where the Wayne is?
The Wayne?
Wayne is like
the wee one.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a joke. It was like Bruce Wayne. Yeah, just sort of looks and goes, she took him. That's where she'll be. It's been a long time since those like you've come through here. Very long time.
Our mission.
I mean, I'm sure we don't have a ton of extras, but could I grab one of the extra cakes and offer it to the turtle guy?
Okay. And he just kind of like just takes one and just looks at it for a moment. Kind of looks over this, and then he falls on the thing. And when he finishes it, like he actually stands like a little bit sort of taller and straighter. It goes, been a long time.
We'll try to work on it.
You sure you're going to see her?
We need to.
He turns and he starts walking towards the trail leading the way that he was before, the way deeper into the woods, and he goes, "Come with me."
I kind of look at Trivium to be like, you trust this guy?
Trivium just starts walking.
Okay.
He's following the turtle. For better or for worse.
Granted, Bastion probably would be a better decision maker, but it's your brother, so.
All right. Everyone goes with?
Mm-hmm.
He takes you down the trail and around for a little bit, kind of quietly humming to himself, and then you hear the river before you get to it. It is going powerfully right now. It sounds like rapids nearby, and there's rivers. There's a few rivers that kind of go in this area, but they're fairly gentle. Like these are ones all of you have definitely swam in, fished in, been in the rivers, but this one, as you kind of come upon it, the waves seem a lot more dangerous, and it's a lot wider than you remember. And he just turns and goes, I can't change your mind.
No.
And then looks through the rest of you.
You might.
You might.
Which point, as he turns and like gets down on all fours and then like crawls into the river. At this point, like his back, fairly large and decently flat.
I step onto him.
I follow.
When they step on, what you notice is like you never quite realize how large he was until you step onto him. Like it's actually a good amount of room while you're there in the river.
Which is great, because none of us can swim.
A few can.
I mean, we can swim, but like we don't have points in it.
Oh, that's so true. Any test you threw our way, we would fail instantly.
Well, so a couple of you can swim.
Okay.
I mean, not in the.
I would say
Not
at
in the
least
roll
Felix. Yeah, maybe.
sense.
No, Felix, you got it. The thing is, anybody can
Oh, okay.
swim. If you don't have the skill, you can swim. It's just you don't get the extra bonus. Like all of you who swam before, just you're not normally swimming in a place where it's dangerous.
Yeah, that's more so what I meant. Is like none
Yeah.
of us are safety swimmers.
Yeah. All right, does everyone join? We've got
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Felix and Trivium. All right. As you step onto it, it starts to kind of head his way over, and again, it's no river is this wide in this area. You have to go quite a ways downriver before you actually find something that gets big enough to like large boats can't make its way down the rivers you've got. Like smaller ones have to come, and you have like skiffs that you'll take things to. As you're on there looking around, there's things in the water. And we'll say, Felix, you kind of have hunted the most, and you see something kind of making its way. There's something through the water. It's coming kind of with purpose, and it's low in the water, moving with a decent amount of speed. The head of it seems to have popped up somewhat out of. In the moonlight, it's a little hard to see, but it looks slightly wolfish.
Wolves.
And it is heading for the turtle, and right now it's the only one that you see.
There's a thing in the water. It looks like a wolf, but it's swimming very fast, and it's not a wolf. Maybe.
I'm gonna get my axe out.
Magic Turtle Man, can you do something about
He's
this?
gonna go, wolf eels, they're a danger. There's only one, and he starts trying to like swim faster. Ibrahim, you do have your bow.
I'll shoot at a wolf eel.
Okay.
Can I just do that?
Yeah. So we're not going to do like the whole. We're not going to do like initiative right now since it's a little ways away, but just to show you the basic way stuff works. When you do combat, you make an attack roll, and all that stuff should be figured in for you. It's your dexterity plus your combat ability plus the weapon attack modifier. Essentially, if you open up your character sheet and you go to description and vitals and combat,
Mm-hmm.
and if you scroll down, there'll be a thing for your bow that will give you what your stats are for that.
Yes.
And what you should be able to do is attack 3. Here, let me check something real quick. Ability. Sorry, let me get your ability correct. That's not on there. Bows. Okay. All right. So if you make a roll
Mm-hmm.
and click on it, make your roll. So
I'm just hitting attack.
Yeah, this is your attack total.
Okay. I've got exert and stress.
None for either of those.
Okay. Actually, hold on. I only have the option to exert self or stress, unless I've already rolled.
Oh wait, I'm not seeing the roll. Oh,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
I have exert,
I'm sorry.
stress, and cancel.
Up above where it says attack. Yeah,
Okay.
don't click on the bow. Up. It'll say attack up above, and then it's got your ability with the +4. Your bow is equipped, so you should just it'll give you that total +7. So if you want to make your roll.
Okay. When I hit attack, I'm seeing stress, exert, and cancel as my 3 options.
Oh, down. Do you? Oh, stress die. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Stress die.
It's probably too small. Yeah, stress die is what you want to roll.
Okay.
All right. The dice have not been rolling well for you today. However,
No.
you do have you've got a pretty good bonus. So, as it's coming through. Oh. Okay.
Oh,
Well,
there's the
I had a
slightly
pretty
better
good
roll,
So
and that's what you want. You know what? If you're gonna roll good on damage. 9.
So here's the thing: the attack total. So you got your attack total versus this defense total. I'm actually giving it a -1 right now because it's not able to move quite so well. So you have an attack advantage of 1. Now for your, you got your damage is 6 with the bow. So with that extra 1, you've done 7 damage, which against its soak we'll end up giving it a. Let me see for the size. So 7. Total 7 minus 2, 6. He's going to give it a medium wound as it hits because it's a bit smaller than a person. Because basically, like there's like a little damage table. Medium wound then gives you a, I believe it's like a -3. I'll have to double check the actual thing real quick. But it is now wounded. As you hit it, you hear this like, and it just kind of dives under the water, and like where the blood was. Like you see some of the blood that kind of came up there, and it is bubbling a little bit on the surface as it has gone kind of underneath. And the turtle itself is making its way like to the other side as quickly as it can.
Does it seem to me like it's still going to be an issue under the water?
You're right now. All of you are looking around to see. Everyone, do me a favor, make an awareness roll as you are looking around to see if anything is on its way.
With searching or no?
Yes, searching is fine for this one.
God, I can't roll today either.
Ooh, nice.
Ibrahim's like, now I roll well.
Now it's fine. That was better when it doesn't matter as much. But
Yeah, so as you're all looking around, kind of desperately trying to make sure, is there anything here? We'll say Felix and Bastian, you see, like right as you kind of reach, you see others start to make their way, like kind of coming close in the water from both sides. But as the turtle like makes its way onto the land, they kind of sit there in the water. And there's almost an intelligence in their eyes, kind of gleaming off the moonlight as they watch you.
Jesus.
And you're up on the water itself, and the turtle just goes, "They don't come on land; they stay in the water. We're safe for now."
Thank you, turtle friend.
And as
some warning would have been nice.
I didn't know they'd be there. Do you all
I
get
do like a bow as best I can. I don't know what turtles want.
what is your vow?
I mean, I think it's just whatever like a farm girl thief thinks like royalty wants from people.
Just a bow. Buh.
Oh, I thought you said vow. Oh, I thought you
vow.
meant
Yeah,
with
no,
a V. With a V. Okay.
I'm not making a vow.
Yeah,
That's how my father got into this
Yeah, I was
situation.
like, yeah, and as he kind of like, once people are off his back, he just sort of stands up, kind of looks at you and kind of gives you a bit of a bow as well. And goes,
How the fuck does it turn?
like this.
He's a turtle man.
It's not much.
Oh,
It's not
right,
much. It's
right,
more,
right.
He inclines himself as much as he can. And just sort
His
of looks
head
and-
just goes.
yeah, for the most part. Like his body kind of leans forward a bit and just goes, "I hope you're able to make it back. I'll be here if you need a ride."
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
He kind of goes and sits on a rock.
I whisper to Bastion, I'm like, we did not think about getting back with a baby. If this succeeds.
If you need something to throw to the wolf eels.
Can you imagine telling a mother we made it so far and then the wolves happened and we dropped the baby?
We put the baby in the water for the eels, and that kind of worked. So we got no baby, but the Fae don't either. So I think we're
This is
even.
horrible.
Oh God.
All right, you got the road leading kind of further in.
Heading down.
Somewhere far ahead, you hear kind of a dark and foreboding music playing in the distance.
Could have brought more cakes.
We have some extra. Bastion, did you bring an instrument with you by God's chance?
Of course I did.
I could
Right.
kiss you.
You're always welcome to love.
Ah,
And I have my lute with me because I always have my lute,
Mhm.
and I'm just I start playing and singing a little bit, light music, calming the nerves.
I hope they like it.
Go
I
ahead.
really hope they like it.
Are you doing this while you're walking down the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You roll. It should add your communication plus you're using
I have
enchanting
enchanting music,
Yeah.
calm. So
Yep.
communication plus enchanting music.
Yep. And then are you trying to make things calm?
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and use your specialty?
Yeah.
We'll see how well this hits the rest of you. 'Cause this, how many of you think have heard Bastion play before?
Oh, 1,000 times. 14.
Ease factor of
Oh,
9
dang.
plus will calm the upset. 12 will win someone's love. 15 will incite a riot. 24
Wait.
might win back a soul from the Prince of Darkness. Okay.
It's really good then.
I think the two of you see me looking at Bastion like in a way where you know when like a friend likes another friend and it's like weird for everybody.
Yep.
I think in that kind of way where it's like palpable, like you can taste it in the air.
As you play, you hear further ahead. You hear the music stop further ahead, and then like as quiet as it was here, like all the other sounds weren't there. Suddenly you hear the flapping of wings and a number of birds, some of which as you look at them just feel a little off, a little different, get their way into the boughs of the trees above you, as they're sort of like cocking their head and sort of like looking. As do you all just walk towards the glade?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You get towards the glade. There is the most of the fair folk you see are sort of off towards the shadows as you make your way in. You see a few that look maybe something more like akin to demons. You see some that look beautiful and strange. You see several that are maybe 3.5 feet tall, almost like little satyrs, small horns, but they've got over wide mouths with like very very sort of sharp teeth, and they're just all staring at all of you as you make your way in. And then the one that seems unfazed by this, the very tall woman holding the child. The child is just like staring at you. And all of the rest of them are sort of waiting as you come into the glade. What do you four of you do?
Well, first I'm going to make the sign of the cross.
Take a deep bow. Good evening, my lady. We are travelers from the village, and we have a bargain to make with you for the life of that child.
She steps forward, and like where she was behind, you see others kind of come out and crowd, and then they're in the thing, and they're sort of watching all of you. And she walks kind of along all of you. When looks at let me get your names. I'll just do this.
Trivium?
Yeah, Trivium kind of looks, smiles as she walks by you. Comes to Felix. She takes a moment, looks at you, and gives a very slight nod. You're the one who remembered.
I hope I haven't been light, Alfrix. I didn't think I'd ever see you.
Reaches out and kind of touches your face with a hand that's like, it's not quite burning cold, but it is uncomfortably cold. It just strokes the side of your cheek and goes, I know some of you have carried us in your heart. And then looks back across all of you over at May and goes, as she walks towards you, May, she goes, though some have carried me a bit lower. And she's now standing over you, baby in hand. And the baby now is like, oh, and she's, like, you've seen The Godfather, it's almost a little like that. Where she's, like, the baby's just sort of like reaching up towards her fingers. When the baby grabs her fingers, doesn't seem to mind the cold you just felt, Felix. You think that would have been if you can't imagine a child grabbing that and not like wanting to cry because for you it was uncomfortable. It just smiles down on May. How is your dear father?
I haven't seen him recently.
Neither have I. Pity.
Is he okay?
When I left him, he was more than okay. And then looks over at Trivium again. Goes, your gift was most appreciated.
Gift.
Mm-hmm. And strokes the baby. This one, towards Felix, kept us in his heart, remembered who we were, but this one, and as she reaches towards Felix, puts a hand on, like a finger on like your shoulder, and even through your clothes you can feel the cold. This one. This one had a wish, and a place we could hear.
Yes, you do.
It was a mistake.
You don't make wishes to the Fae folk you don't mean. There are no mistakes making wishes to the Fae folk.
How was I supposed to know they would listen?
They always listen.
I mean, like, come on, man.
You're a good lady. My friend did not know the promise he was making.
Well, a wish always has its consequences. And in that moment when he spoke, it was from his heart.
Child was not his to give away.
His child is by blood. Blood owns blood.
Surely you can understand as a mother, regardless of who's your blood. Only you have that child.
Oh, I've had many children. None have had my blood, but I've had many children. And then you hear like the little about 3.5 foot satyrs you saw, just just like this wicked laugh comes from them. And again, their two wide mouths open, and the sharp rows of teeth are in there.
We have brought you gifts.
Many gifts.
What are you? Wine and honey and cake and bread.
Just start unpacking them.
Please.
Is there anything that we could trade, barter for that child's life?
What gifts did you bring?
We brought, as I said, honey and wine, cake and bread, and
then at this point you see like a couple of like the little satyrs sort of kind of like walk their way up, and they're sort of kind of close to her skirts, and they sort of look at her. And you see a lot of the other Fae kind of, when you mention the cakes and the breads and such, they just sort of lean forward and they seem interested.
These are our gifts to you, and we hope for your mercy. If there's anything we can give, we're willing.
Which, who has like? Do you all have the cakes and like the beer and the milk and such in bags, or where do you have them?
I think the beer's in a jug, like the wine too is in a jug, and then cakes are like wrapped nicely in like.
One of the little satyrs just sort of works like with a little clawed hand, kind of steps forward a little bit, and is sort of reaching towards one of the jugs. We'll say, May, one of the ones you have.
I kind of like look at the lady to try to suss out if she's like fine with me. I'm not gonna give it to him, but if I'm also not gonna snap while we're in this very delicate situation.
She's looking across. Like, she doesn't seem to be paying much of attention to the little satyr, and like around it you see other Fae have kind of come out of the shadows a little bit. They've taken another like sort of step forward, and are just there. They seem to be all kind of greedily looking at the bags and the bags and the jugs.
All right, I'm gonna put my body between the jug and the satyr then, because this is her wine. This is not his wine.
Yeah. He just, so she just kind of puts a hand down. She goes, "You've interrupted our merrymaking. I believe I believe that should be a good price." And kind of like looks at you, May, when you hit the jug, and then looks over at like the food and such the rest of you have. And like looks to each of you and like the food and such that you carry, and like the satyr like licks his lips.
I think I'm just gonna start spreading it out then.
And like it jumps towards you very quickly, but grabs like one of the cakes, and like several of them come in, and you see a couple of the fae like make their way over, and do all of you give those gifts?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She has a moment where she just kind of has to like take the child, and she turns and she walks back towards where she was, and she sits on like a kind of a magnificent looking stump that you don't remember seeing there before, and she goes, "This seems payment for breaking our ceremony," but then looks at Bastion. "Can you give us a song?"
Of course. And I get my loot. So it's going to be performance.
Now,
with
here's what I'm I don't think technically Grogs have this, but I'm gonna give this for you now, just so this is something you have. Your characters, your companions, and your mages will have confidence. And confidence is like you start off with like 3 points of confidence and like a score of like 1 and 3 points. What you can do is you can spend a point of confidence. Grogs don't get them. I'm going to give them for this occasion. You'll be able to spend one that'll give you a +3. A one-off +3 on your roll.
Right. So I have. It's not performance. It's perception. What should I roll for? Just the singing?
I think probably the enchanting music again.
Chanting music.
Oh, it would use communication, I think.
Oh, communication. That's what it was.
Does it automatically go to communication or perception?
Okay. Communication. And I don't think calm would be the specialty, right?
I don't think calm right now. Like there's a moment that she's looking at you. She seems to want your. There was an emphasis when she said, "Can you make us a song?"
And you said
Or
3 on the 3 for confidence, right?
Yeah, and so give a +3 to your roll.
Okay.
So this is one that your mages will have and your companions will have. Generally, the Grogs don't, but for this purpose, you rolled incredibly well earlier. I'm giving you a point of confidence as a.
I can't roll.
What's it doing when you try?
He just had a 14.
That was last time.
Yeah, no, but
Oh, there
we
goes
go.
15. Woo!
All right.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Thank God for the +5. So that incites a riot. No, that could incite a riot. So for all of you, when the singing happens, it is. Tell me about the tale you tell in the song.
I tell a tale, and I'm sorry, May, but I tell a tale of a human man falling in love with a fae woman whose beauty could move the world, and of how he would do anything for her. Basically, I tell this love song, and how he gave everything for her. And that is the depth of love, is sacrificing everything you can.
It is one of the most beautiful things any of you have ever heard. It touches you in ways that music probably never has before, and like the entire glade filled with things that look human and things that most definitely do not are crying to it from their love, and even a couple teardrops fall from the lady's cheeks and sort of shatter on the child she's carrying, who doesn't seem to hurt the child at all, who's also as entranced. And when it finished, she stands up again, very, very tall, walks over towards you, looming over you, and like reaches up, pulls a tear off of her cheek, small, hard like a diamond, hands it to you. You want to make a note that you've got the tear of a fae?
Where did I put that?
You can just under like
Inventory?
inventory. Yeah, you can just put a little plus there and put tear of a fae. It'll be a source of vis, which your character won't know yet, but maybe if you survive, maybe important next session. And then just like you will take this song. You will sing it to them. You will let them know.
Of course.
She takes the baby, puts it in your arms. You may go.
Thank you, my good lady.
Do a deep bow.
Keep my head nice and low. Don't make eye contact.
And I'm just remember like, Trivium, I swear to fucking God. You know.
And you see a couple of the smaller satyrs start kind of walking up towards Trivium, May, and Felix.
Let them go.
I mean, you're not in charge of this.
Is that what you say?
Yeah, Trivium goes, let them go.
They can go.
Well, I'll take my leave then.
They can go.
Okay.
The child. And the bard. As she turns and takes some steps back towards her, towards the stump that she was on, and you see got like a couple more. There's like 4 of those small satyrs, kind of.
Please, not my friends.
What do you all do?
Let them go. I'll tell you my name.
Your name. Humans don't hide their names anymore. What use is your name to us? Your life is worth so
myth.
much more.
Then take my life. Let them go.
And at this point, though, the 4 of them just sort of like the satyrs just kind of stop, and then she looks over at you, goes, "You would sacrifice yourself to atone for what you've done."
I don't think it's really atoning, but my life isn't worth much if they don't live.
And she kind of looks over all of you, and then just goes,
I approach.
and then just kind of like flicks her hand out behind, like not even looking at the other 3 of you.
If Trivium's so eager to make up for whatever slight,
His mother will kill us.
she's only lost one son.
She'll have a baby
It's
back.
just a different one.
Just go. Make something up. Tell her I died.
Well,
I don't care. Tell her whatever. Just go.
I think I signal for you 2 to leave, and then I walk towards Trivium.
yeah, I'll go. I'll take the yeah. I'll just kind of take. I'll just I don't know. Yeah, I don't have anything to say to
And-
Trivium at this point.
And Bastion?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I am so scared of pissing off the Fae Queen even more. And like I want to argue like not to take him, but I think I've known Trivium long enough that when he makes a decision, there's just no getting in his way.
Fair enough.
My lady, may I make an offer?
Kind of just like cocks her head a little bit, looks at you, and goes, "What's your offer?"
I can offer you, in exchange for Trivium's life, one of two things. Either A, my father, or B, my craft.
And what would your craft be?
My hand.
And what is your...
I am but a common thief. There's not much you can steal without a hand.
She just smiles and leans in and goes, "We have very little use for thieves, and your father's life is not yours to give."
And the baby's life was his to give?
Blood belongs to blood.
Am I not my father's daughter?
You are not his blood.
Ooh, Trivian's just gonna look at May and be like, "Just go, just go. It's fine."
Well, she doesn't want my hand, so that was like, that's my one thing. I don't have anything else in the world. All right, I book it towards fucking. I'm reeling from this fucking thing, and I just start booking it towards. Sorry, Trivium.
I think I reach out before I go. I just take his hand and I just give it a quick squeeze. I just look at him like,
Get Timothy home.
All right. Did the three of you run off?
yeah.
Yeah.
You hear Trivium screams behind you as you're rushing down the forest. You're heading towards where the turtle was, and like as you kind of come around the corner, you see that the turtle has like looks up concerned as he hears the screams, and it looks like you've survived. You've made it.
We need to get home.
Oh, it just turns and like splashes down in the water. And y'all get on?
Mhm.
Yep.
As you get on, as it starts making his way across, what does everyone have for weapons? As there's the things that are like splashing around, like thrashing in the water, are much closer than the one that was there last time.
Knives.
Still
I
my
have my loot.
You have a baby.
And you're carrying the baby, so
I'm carrying the baby.
Yeah.
it's up to Felix and I.
Felix, are you gonna start knocking arrows and shit?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start knocking arrows and trying to shoot whatever comes close.
Go ahead. And we'll have you make 2 attack rolls. These will be stress dice.
Okay.
We'll do the first one and then we'll get the other one.
Okay. Nope, that's not there. It's here, and then this one.
Nice.
All right.
Did it
You
roll
have
twice? No, it
an
didn't.
you have an advantage of 4 on there for your attack advantage, which
Whoa.
means
What just happened? Something else just happened when I tried to roll again.
holy fuck! Oh, you got an exploding stress die. Oh shit!
Oh.
Okay, you have a 4 and then a 7. What is your damage?
6, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it gives your total damage is a 6.
Will it
So
do that
10
if I do the damage button? Well, I don't even need to.
Or go ahead, click the damage button. I think what it does, it'll put the total up here. Okay,
Okay.
good. Details 15. That's the advantage
Not
of
a lot
9.
details on that doesn't really.
That's the advantage from 9 from the other one. Because if you click on the details, your strength is a 0, your
okay.
damage is 6. The advantage was 9 points. I guess taking the 8 to the 17. because it just takes the last one. That one, as it's as it strikes it, it goes like straight through its head. That thing goes underneath the water and it's done. The other one that you rolled, that I had there was the 4-point difference for. The other one was close enough. As you hit that one also goes under. And then you get to a point where you're on the other side. And at this point, you've been in the woods enough. You've kind of heard enough stuff. There are on this side of the river, like you're not too far from where you came in. But there are things here. We'll have Felix. You kind of know the best ways to kind of get around predators. Do you want to make a hunt roll to get your way out? To help get everybody
Absolutely,
out? What are the rest of you doing is you get onto the ground, like those things are like thrashing in the water. The turtle's taking some hits as he kind of gets up. There's some blood there, but you hear things in the woods.
I look at the turtle. I'm just like, I want to help, but the baby's crying in my ear, and I'm like, thank you.
Ibrahim, if you want to describe. Sorry, Nessa, go.
I was going to say, I'm just ready with like a throwing knife in case anything gets through Felix.
Ibrahim, if you want to describe how you make your way through the woods, like avoiding, there's things in there coming after you, and you've had enough time hunting and getting with predators, you know how to stay away from them.
Yeah, I think as I'm beating my way I'm like beating a path through the woods. I think I'm also like firing arrows into like the treetops and disturbing animals that might be sleeping up there to try and cause them to make more of a ruckus as we make our way, just beelining through to the village.
So stuff starts to sort of flying, and eventually, like as you're running, and when you stumble out of the woods, the sun is coming up.
I guess we're going to Trivium's house.
Right.
Once we're close enough that I'm like, close enough to Trivium's house, I'm gonna like turn and like start booking it towards my house.
Okay.
Because I gotta talk to my father, air quotes.
All right. You book it towards your house. Do Felix and Bastion, you both go to Trivium's house?
Yeah.
It's quiet in the morning. It's in the morning. People are sort of still asleep. There's some movement sort of inside the house itself.
No use putting it off.
I knock on the door.
You hear his mother go, what's that? Then like opens it like desperately, looks at the two of you, and there's a moment that she sees the baby. Brian.
Timothy.
Forgot my baby's name. I can't remember if we said what the name was.
I said his name like 3 times.
Okay,
Brian is her husband's name.
I didn't think
It's
you'd
okay.
bring in the baby back.
Timothy.
I didn't think someone was
Yeah.
going to be rolling 15 twice. Chanting music. I'm like, there's no chance this baby roll. Shit. She grabs her child. And like Trivium's father kind of steps out and just looks and goes.
Whose name happens to be Brian.
Yeah, Brian goes. He just looks and goes. You've all been gone for a week. What happened?
It's been a nighttime for us.
Felt like a night.
Oh wait, I'm not there.
And
You're not here.
And then he just turns and goes, Trivium, they've returned. And then you hear some footsteps. And
Oh.
Trivium at the top of the steps.
Does he have a face?
Next week, I have a feeling.
Fuck!
So I have a feeling next week, it would probably, since we're doing some phase stuff, it would make most sense for Sarah's mage. Do we know which companion we want to be to have next week? Like
We get one.
I was saying that we have one, and then we can take it like there. We have some. We can either do. If you go to the Grogs folder, wait. I think let me. Oh shit! Didn't mean to do that. That doesn't really matter, but I'm going to configure ownership. Tell me if you can see the Grogs folder now.
Yep.
Yes.
Can you see like the Grog templates?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
If you open it up, do you see a bunch of character
I
stuff?
Berserker, female scholar, the grizzled vet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like through
I mean-
artist on one, the top tough guy at the bottom.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
either Pledge, who still needs a new name, or Friar Fuchs would make sense given the situation.
It's Fuchs! So what we'll have is one companion, one mage, and then the other two players. These grogs you'll be getting, like grogs can be expendable. They can like very often a shield grog goes with, but this is going to be part of the retinue who is traveling with Lear. Because partly because remember, mages can't deal with regular people particularly well because of the gift, except unless it's uh, Ibrahim or Steve. They both have the gentle gift. But the group of people you're going towards your covenant, the place that you're going to be taking over. So we'll have 1 week for each of the mages, and for each of those, I'm going to kind of like make sure what we're going to be diving into the thing that's kind of your character's specialty. We'll get a chance to see some things about them, and I'll probably be asking some questions. Should
we be should I be bulking up my character's other abilities during this time?
Yeah. So the other thing we'll do is I went ahead just so you have higher ranks, just so you can get some little more interesting spells. Give you 60 points each to put into the abilities. A lot of that basically I would recommend putting that either all in arts or maybe a little bit up in magic theory or philosophy if those are a bit lower. But then I'd put most of it in arts to raise those up, and then ideally at some point we'll get together and we'll be able to make some spells for you, because we've got some spells for some people, and that's one where if we got together for like 45 minutes or an hour, if you just came up with some spell ideas, because I think right now since every character is going to have their own group of spells because you make them yourself.
I have all the spells I need, which is turn into a wolf for a very short period of time and turn people into whatever the other thing was, into badgers or whatever for a very long period of time.
I'll be honest, I kind of want Bard against whatever that Bard thing is again. It was really cool to have.
You rolled extra. I was like, the enchanting music might help here. They're 15. Fuck. Like that's a really good. Okay. I didn't think you'd be making it back. I thought there was a very good chance nobody would make it back, or like at least not the baby. Yeah, we can talk about that off of the air. So if you want to let people know who all you wonderful folk are.
I'm Sarah. I'm Powerful Week One on TikTok and Powerful Week almost everywhere else.
Hello, I am Nessa. I was going to say pronouns again. I mean, she, her still hasn't changed yet, but you can find me under Loch Nessa, LOCHNEASSA. Sometimes I make weird little art for this campaign once I figure out what everyone looks like.
Did you ask for descriptions and I just forgot?
Yes.
She asked me, and I was like, I don't know what he looks like. He has black hair.
I think that's a pretty good base. I think you can start with that now. So.
I'm Steve. I'm the Dragon X on TikTok. I am on Beards and Barbarians every Friday night here on Twitch. That's another channel. That's a live play. I'm on the Ronin's Den every Saturday, as well as various other shows, which I will say whenever those come up. But yeah.
And my name is Ibrahim. I am a person.
All right. And I'm Michael, Improv GM just about everywhere, and we will catch you later.